Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Three Crones and the Woo Woo. I am one of your hosts. My name is Gayle Nicholson. I own Creative Command Coaching and Consulting, where we do spiritual coaching and EFT tapping to let go of the barriers that we've erected inside our minds. To my side, I have Ms. Krista Ducharme with Dimensional Healing on Facebook with Krista, and she does amazing crystal work, and just there's a list. Anyways, for more information, reach out to Krista.
Reach out to Krista.
And then supporting us from below, as always, Miss Damaris Samolinski with Ask the Genie with Damaris Samolinski. My God, this woman's got all kinds of stuff, oils and blends and blah blah blah.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, big stuff. So hi, everyone. There's already people joining us today. I want to say welcome to you all. Sue Sendin, Sue Paquin. I'm going to guess this Facebook user is Adam because it usually is. Hello, ladies, or hi, ladies. And Tracy Paquin. Welcome.
Woo! Tracela's in the house.
If you're watching on Facebook through the Three Crones and the Woo Woo group, or on my business page, thank you. Welcome. Give us some likes. Oh, hi, Tanya. I'm sorry, I misidentified Tanya as Adam. So that is Tanya that was there. Anyways, so welcome. Come on in. Give us a like. Give us a comment. Give us a share. Tag a couple of your friends in the comments. Invite them in to listen to us laughing at each other for the next hour or so. Yay! Awesome. And also, if you're watching us on Facebook, you could go over to YouTube if you'd like. You don't have to. I love Sue Paquin's on YouTube, Tracy Paquin's on YouTube. We love having people over there as well, because YouTube is a little bit more friendly to not rock blocking. I'll put it that way.
Oh, I like that.
So,
all right.
We're so happy that you've all joined us. And if you have joined us on the replay, please put #replay in the comments wherever you're at, so that we know when and where you actually have the opportunity to visit with us. Because yes, we do this at noon on Tuesdays, Eastern time in the US, and you may not be able to tune in. Oh, it's 6 o'clock Amsterdam time. Thank you.
Thank you.
So you may be still working a day job and not be able to tune in right when we're live. But thanks for joining us anyway. We love that you're here.
Or you could be in the same time zone I am, and it's cocktail time. So, you know, y'all just like whatever.
Yeah. Or the same time zone and like cooking dinner and got to get back to us after everything's handled. Whatever. We love that you're here whenever, from wherever. We are so proud to be global. How is, let me stop jabbering. How's the weather where you guys are at? Because spring has definitely sprung, and it's teasing summer here in the Midwest.
Here too. It's like 90.
Yeah.
In New York.
Yeah. So you guys are seeing temperatures that, frankly, here in Northern Europe, we would choose not to see. I know that there are some folks, and y'all who live here all the time, you can poo-poo me all you want. But seriously, I like my temperate weather. I mean, I really do. I like the fact that it's 77.
I love that.
I think today it was, I don't convert as quickly as my kids do, but it was like it's like 16 Celsius here. So you can see what I'm wearing. And I was kind of comfortable all day. And I did wear a jacket, but only because it was drizzling and frankly white and wet.
Can be fun when you're in college.
It was fun, but when you know you're 51, you think that a rain jacket is more appropriate when it's wet. It's just, potato. I don't know. But yeah, so for us, we've had some warm weather. And but one of the things I love about this area that I live in here in the Netherlands, and even where it is that we typically are traveling, the parallel we're on, is it's light still at 10 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Okay, I do love that. And by June, when we get to that, the summer solstice, it's like almost 11 still, and it's light out, and I love that. I know people will be like, "Oh my God, that's crazy!"
Yeah, that would take me a really long time to get used to, because
and it's like, and then it's light again, like at 4:30 in the morning. So I mean, but
Yikes.
I like it. I can't explain it. But I like it.
But I think that's really awesome too, because sun deprivation causes real problems in the human body, right?
Oh, it does.
In the human mind. So having like 18 hours of sunlight a day has got to be, and it is the crystals. No, she's out there sunbathing and she's just chipper.
No, because I love the dark as well. So for me, when it gets to that where it starts getting dark, for me, it means lighting candles. And I don't light like one or two candles. I light candles. I mean, I have tea lights, and I go through I have my tea lights I buy are 6-hour ones, and they're soy. Mm-hmm. And I go through so I buy a box, and each packet is 120, and it has 3 packs in it. So that's 360. And I go through 3 boxes.
No way.
But I love candles. So for me, I understand, and I really get into the rhythm of it. Mm-hmm. And so Tracy and my mom will probably be like, Krista, I rise with the sun, and I probably, to anybody who spends a lot of time with me, go to sleep with the sun.
Wow.
So I always tell people that my brain cuts off pretty much at 8 p.m.
Well, we have to go. So.
Yeah. But I'm so happy now that we're at the time we're at, because it was a real struggle.
I bet.
Yeah, it used to be what, 9 o'clock your time?
9 o'clock my time. But yeah, so no, I mean, I'm loving it, and we're seeing some stuff. We are home we came home Sunday from being in the Normandy, France region. We're home today because I had a major board meeting that I had to attend. And then tomorrow morning we get in the car to go to the airport to fly to Krakow, Poland.
That's going to be so exciting. I want to see video from you on the travel.
Okay, I can do that. Hey, I like that. Okay, who wants to see video? Comment below.
Yes.
What do you want to see? Comment below. I want to know what you want to see. Because are you a foodie? Do you want to see food stuff? Do you want to see crystal stuff? Okay, so for those who haven't been paying attention and who are not friends with Retail Therapy with Sue on Class Act Imports on Facebook, we are on our way to we're on our way to a jewelry show. Is what what Sue and I are going to be doing. Kevin, my dad, and Genevieve are going to be going to Auschwitz and another concentration camp thing. They're doing more World War II history, which is fantastic. I just went to my first concentration camp when I was 8 years old, and I don't feel like I need to go to another one like that intense. I went to Dachau when I was a kid, and I remember it. There are some other ones I'll go to that are a little bit different, but I don't need to go to Auschwitz. So we're going jewelry shopping.
Nice.
Bottom line.
I wish I could do that.
So let me know if you have any things that you would like from Oh, yes. And we're going to get salt massages from the salt mines.
That sounds so good.
It does.
Isn't it? Oh my God. So folks, let me ask you, who A, has a passport, B, would love to spend a week in Poland, and C, enjoy having a massage every day for under $35 USD an hour.
Wow.
All therapeutic.
Nice.
Just let me know. Post below. I'm going to get more details on this. Yeah, mom's like, me.
Yeah.
We found a place. No joke. And if it is what I think it is, OMG. But you have to have a passport because you have to come to Poland. And you have to be willing to fly to Poland.
See, now,
And
I don't have a passport, but I do have one of those enhanced IDs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
that
you're
work?
one step closer to getting a passport.
Yeah. You know
You
what?
need to have
I went to college in Canada, and I went for journalism. And my course supervisor in front of a class one day said, "Do you have a passport to me?" And I said,
Yeah.
"No." And he said, "Okay, so because I have dual citizenship," he says, "when you get your passport, get a Canadian passport." And I'm like, why would I do that? I mean, I do have Canadian citizenship, but why would I do that? He says, 1, you can travel to Cuba. Americans can't. 2, if you're ever in a terrorist situation, they look for the Americans because they're the bigger ransom money.
Oh, yeah.
And 3, everybody in the rest of the world thinks Americans are asshole and they love Canadians. So get a Canadian passport.
That's kind of
But
true.
did you?
I need to.
No, I don't have a passport because he's right, but
Okay.
I feel weird
So
about getting
he
a
is
Canadian
he is
passport.
kind of right. We were having this conversation earlier. Americans, frankly, can be assholes. U.S. citizens can be assholes, and okay. And this is not going out to our crew. This is not going out to our followers. But as a general, it can be a misconception or a perception about Americans. I always love to tell folks that we are ambassadors, whether or not we have the title. We are ambassadors of our nation. So how you project yourself to those around you is going to be how they perceive the entire nation to be.
Exactly.
I'm going to, for those who are in New England, this is a great case in point. I worked in New England at a beach resort area. We would have those from Quebec come into our area to vacation, to go shopping, to do all kinds of things. And frankly, they were assholes. They really were. They were unbelievable assholes. But I get it, but really, that was only the part of those people from Quebec that you remember.
Even among Canadians, they'll tell you that people are they have a hard time claiming people from Quebec.
But I get it because I have friends now here, and actually one downstairs.
Congratulations! Just kidding.
Thank you. Who's downstairs at the moment, and they're from Quebec. And I mean, they're amazing people and they're wonderful people. But that's kind of what happens. And we were, today at this big board meeting I had to go to, it was many delegations. There are total like 19 countries, 23 countries, something like that. And so, I mean, you start to understand how people perceive each nation. And sometimes it's not fair.
It isn't.
And it isn't. And I get it. But
now down in Phoenix, we get a lot of Canadians from British Columbia. On the West Coast side, right, that come down and buy their vacation homes and do that kind of thing. And they are always so nice. So nice, right? I mean, you can sit down at a golf club and overhear a conversation at another table and look at, I've looked at my lunch mate at the, they're Canadian. I can tell. And it's not, like the accent, it's how they talk to people and the kindness and so on. So anyways, off topic.
That's why people must think I'm Canadian.
Must be, because you're very sweet. Very sweet. They look at me and they're going, yeah, she's Karen Americano. That's her that name. Karen Americano. That's me.
Yeah. So okay, I know enough talking about our American brothers and sisters.
Yes. All right. Well, we've got some really cool stuff to talk about. But before I get to Damaris' segment, I want to show everybody something really, really cool that I just kind of want to brag about.
Okay, you brag.
It's in the wrong spot. Hold on 1 second. 1 second.
Oh, she has it.
You like? I put it in
I love it.
I put it as a background instead of a photo, so it's behind us.
That's fabulous! Oh my gosh,
isn't
that is amazing?
Yeah.
Yay! That's fabulous. I love it.
So if you happen to see a Nissan Pathfinder with a 3 Crones license plate, give me a honk.
Definitely. Oh, yay.
Isn't that great? And I love this pure Michigan across the top. All right, Miss Damaris, are we ready to go? I know you got a bunch of stuff to tell us about this week.
Lord, have mercy.
Okay, she starts with that. All right, strap yourselves in, y'all.
All right. So I'm going to talk about Mercury and Saturn today. So Mercury goes direct on the 3rd, but on the 4th, Saturn goes retrograde. So they're in a square. They're squaring each other right now.
They're square dancing.
They're squaring each other. So a square is like when we're inside a box, right? Mm-hmm. And so let me explain so that you guys could understand. So Saturn brings back stuff from the past karma, things that we have to learn in order not to keep repeating the same patterns over and over. Mercury is all about communication. And also, because it's been in retrograde till the 3rd, it was all about reflection, but it's also how we communicate. So Saturn is almost like forcing Mercury in a way, because it's in a square. It's forcing Mercury to really communicate, not just, when we think about communication, we think about communication just within ourselves or with other people. This is also communication with spirit. What are we putting out there into the universe? What are we creating potentially for the future? Whatever we think about, right? Whatever we communicate to the universe, we are actually creating for ourselves to live into. So, Saturn wants Mercury to think back so that it doesn't make the same mistakes, or it doesn't recreate the past in the future. And also it has to do with communication with other people, of course, how we're communicating. And so, with that squaring, sometimes, Saturn is very blunt. It doesn't cushion the blow at all whatsoever. So if someone is being very blunt and the other person is not taking it as kindly, there could be an argument. There could be, some sort of, I'm going to say debate. Right. And also it's how we perceive our own reality. Right. So again, how we perceive the reality in the past, it shouldn't be how we continue to see it, because we're only going to see more of it in the future. So this squaring is really so that we can really take a look at how we're communicating. I would say, especially with ourselves, like, what am I thinking? What am I saying to the universe that I'm potentially going to bring into my future later? And then there's no one to blame but me, because I'm the one thinking and I'm the one that's putting it out there. Right. And I have a lot, including myself. I mean, sometimes we're not in a good place and we start thinking negatively. And those things are going into the atmosphere, into the environment, and they're not going to come back void. They're going to come back with, you know, the fruition of those words, right? Mm-hmm. And so we got to be very careful with that. We also have 666 coming up, which I'll talk about more later on, but that's a gateway portal that is really an amazing portal that's coming up. I call it the Venus portal because 6666 is ruled by Venus. Today is a Venus day, by the way, because of that 6 number. But on the, you know, on 666 2022, it'll be 666. It's going to be really an amazing portal. I'll talk about it somewhat later on, but I also want to bring in the number 6. And, you know, usually, Spirit guides me as to what it is that I'm going to talk about that number. But today they guided me to talk about the 6th chakra, the 6th sense, the third eye, which is our inner eye, our inner vision. And so when you look at that chakra, it resonates with God's will for us, God's will for humanity. What God wants for all of us, each of us, is to have love, peace, and harmony with ourselves and each other. And so going back to what I was saying about Mercury and that Saturn squaring, if we put out love, peace, and harmony, that's what we will create. And that's what we will live into later on in the future. Now, God's will for everybody is love, peace, and harmony. When we're in that Christ-like vibration, we open our third eye, our 6th sense. So, that's an amazing thing. I mean, we have to be in that vibration in order for that 6th sense to open up, in order for our intuition to start, you know, working, not randomly, because we have it randomly most of the times, right? Like always on, which is wonderful. We also, again, the 6 has to do with Venus, as I said to you guys before. That vibration is of love, is of peace, is of harmony. And, you know, no matter what's going on in the world, if we ourselves are vibrating there, then our little world that we're living into becomes that. And so we, you know, we live in a world where we're collectively living with other people, but that doesn't mean we have to have the same experiences that they are having. So that number 6, again, is all about communication with spirit, and communication with ourselves, that we open up our 6 senses and our, you know, third eye, the single eye of God, I call it.
Will you answer Sue's question? Because I know the answer, but this is yours.
Yeah,
So the 666 is going to be our gateway portal. I call it the Holy Trinity. And it's really about love. And no matter what's going on.
What day is it going to be?
Oh, it's June 6th, 2022.
Yeah.
So what day does that fall on? I forget.
Oh,
so
good question.
Oh, it falls on Monday because I fly on Tuesday.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so it falls on Monday. So that day we have a huge portal of sending out love into the universe. I really think that that's what we should do. And no matter what's going on around us, just send out love so we can go through that portal and we can go through that. You know, that, what is it in the Bible? It says something about a small little needle hole, like we have to go through. I feel like that's what it is. Going through that, you know, small little portal of love and sending out love into the universe, because the universe needs it so much. The planet is in need of so much of that mother nurturing essence of Venus.
Yeah. So may I suggest coming into it for all of you?
Eye of the needle, thank you. That's what I couldn't remember.
Yeah, the eye of the needle. So may I suggest that we all what I'm seeing is that we take our energy and transmute that stuff that's the angst, the anger, the frustration, whatever it may be, and you transmute it. And you transmute it through color, or you can transmute it through crystal. You know, and color and crystal can be the same. And you transmute it, and then when you're sending it out by transmuting it, and you can transmute it through like amethyst, which is a master healer. You can then transmute it through rose quartz, which is a love compassion kind of crystal. And then a healed color is a crystal quartz. Or if you really want to get exciting about it, make it a Herkimer diamond. And you transmute it through all that energy. You know, you feel that energy and you transmute it. So as it's coming out of that Herkimer diamond, visualize puffy hearts.
I'm going to share something with you guys really quick before I switch it over to Krista. Something about this same thing, this the vision that we have, the inner vision or the physical vision. So this weekend I was helping my husband, my daughter's moving downstairs, and we were, you know, getting her apartment ready. And I got something in my eye, and it was, you know, I have like this fogginess in that one eye. And, you know, I'm meditating and I'm like, okay, why is this happening to me? And, you know, I came to the awareness that when we see obstacles in our future, whatever obstacles they are, that's what we manifest. And so, yeah, I got this thing in my eye, but I got it for that same reason, and which was what I was saying before, how we're communicating about ourselves, about our future. You know, if I see any kind of obstacles, now I really have an obstacle in my eye. I physically have it, where it's like I'm seeing blurry from this eye. And so it's like we need to make affirmations as well as saying my path is clear. My path into my future is clear, unobstructed. And that's the affirmation I've been saying, because prior to that, I'm seeing obstacles, you know, obviously because everything that's going on in the world, but that doesn't have to affect me really, you know? So, so we have to see a clear path for ourselves. We have to have great communication with spirit, which is that number 6. It's also that Mercury, is also that Saturn kind of, you know, if you're not going to think correctly for yourself, you're going to keep repeating patterns that you don't want to repeat, and you're going to stay stuck because you're going to be in the same sort of like vicious cycle.
Yeah. Definitely. Hey, Gayle, can you pop up Tracy's comment? I don't know if you already did.
Yes. I was waiting for Damaris to be done to ask you guys, do you guys know the answer to this question?
I do.
Go ahead.
Okay. So 666 has a bad reputation because of Hollywood. And I actually researched this. And prior to Hollywood, yes, there were people who speculated and there were interpretations, and essentially, and anybody who's ever watched Pawn Stars, honestly, some of the shit you learned watching television.
Right.
However, to Rick, I'm giving Pawn Stars a props here. To Rick on Pawn Stars, he actually kind of nailed it. Because of the people he brought in. So the devil, if you look at history, the whole perception of what we understand good and evil, and the devil, so say the devil and God, we'll just use that. Didn't really happen until what we would consider a more recent history, not a modern history, but a recent history, because it really didn't happen until about the 1700s. And so when the whole 666 started coming about in terms of history, it was the perceptions of writers. So that all really didn't start occurring until the turn of the 20th, the end of the 19th century, the 1900s, and into the 19th century into the 20th century, the 1800s into the 1900s, and that in terms of writing. And then what Hollywood did is they, of course, in all their glory, because I mean, come on, let's face it, no one wants to hear of the positive things, right? Absolutely. Positive stuff doesn't sell tickets.
No.
But making it and creating it into this awesome like fantasy of evilness, that's what sells tickets.
Yes. And I just want to add that the planets, I look at the numbers and they're related to planets. So the 6 is related to Venus. And obviously, if Venus is a negative vibration, it becomes, jealous, envious, all that negative energy of, anything has a positive and a negative. But ultimately, Venus is rules the number 6, and it's a planet of love, and if we don't turn love inward, like of self-centeredness and, not loving other people and just it's about me, obviously it's going to be negative. So anything can be turned into the negative, really.
Yeah,
totally. Yeah.
Now I'm glad that you answered that, because I don't know the answer, just intuitively, right? I draw from the resources that I've been exposed to, and numerically 777 is like the higher power, this is heaven kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So then of course what comes before that, or what becomes beneath that, is 666, that which doesn't quite make it there, that which was thrown out of heaven. And it's a real easy 3-digit way to contain the mark of the beast. Becomes easily recognizable, it's all that kind of stuff. In my personal opinion, it's bullshit. It's bullshit.
What part there?
What part? That 666 corresponds with the devil.
Oh, me too.
And then, you kind of also add into that, or I do. Well, even before that, I mean, I don't know. I didn't live before that, but
no, nor did I.
Right? At least not that I recall at the moment. I always go back to the fact that when the founders, if you will, of Christianity were designing how they were going to bring together all of these contentious factions and try to bring it into one large group that all believes the same thing, right? Mm-hmm. In order to make that version ring true to everybody in that group, they had to start ostracizing anything that could undercut the accuracy, right? Yes. So that's how we get into divination, tarot, astrology. Oh no, those are bad, because if they will actually blow our story out of the water.
Yes.
Don't do that.
They actually empower us.
Yeah.
Knowledge and it gives us power.
And it gives us look at what education
is doing.
What?
I mean, look at what education is doing in some areas now. I mean, oh wow, all these. I
know.
In particular, I'm gonna people might blow up our chat here in a minute, but look at them. They're like all these women being educated and empowering themselves. Oh hell no. And it's like, no, education is power, knowledge is power, and being open to other thoughts is also power.
Yes,
absolutely.
And that's just it. The powers that bead at that moment when they were trying to control masses of people, right? They were like, we can't have you guys individualized. There's no exceptionalism here. Everybody follows this rule. No exploring your talents and skills. No, what can you do to be the tall poppy of the group? That kind of thing. And
hence the third eye. I mean, if we all had our third eyes open, imagine, what would we be doing right now? We would be so creative. We would just be in our purpose, all of us.
Right now, I've got Bill Murray screaming in my head. It'd be chaos. It'd be anarchy. Dogs and cats living together.
What if we had a third eye? We'd be, oh my gosh, just living our purpose.
Right. Yeah. Now, there is one situation in life that I think that no one should be outside of the group. Everybody should be doing the same thing. And that is buy our stickers.
There you go. I agree.
I was waiting to hear something else. I'm like, what is she going to say?
All
So
right,
see, stickers. There we go.
awesome.
All
And
right,
look,
So, Miss
Krista.
Krista, ready to go?
I am.
Fantastic.
Hello, guys. Guess what the crystal is? Carnelian.
Yay!
Woo! Okay, and you all need to give props to Miss Sue, Mama Crone, because she was the one who reminded me today what the crystal was. Seriously, it's just been one of those in the last few days. It's like we're go. Definitely perpetual motion here at this house. It's been crazy busy. So
So
Carnelian for me is all about creation because it resonates with your second chakra, which is the sacral. And that's the one that where everything you create and birth comes from. Now, we think of the second chakra as typically as just getting pregnant and creating new humans.
giving birth.
And giving birth to new humans.
Yes.
Well, when I say you can be creating and giving birth, that means to anything. The Carnelian right now is not necessarily about giving birth to humans. For the messaging that I'm getting is more so, what is it that's within you that you are trying to create and birth? Are you trying to write something? Are you trying to create something? It could be, are you trying to bring something to life, a vision, right? You need to think about it in terms of the big picture. Now, it was really funny because Mom was telling me, and it really does help with writing. I love it. I love it. My mom was just telling me, she's like, I don't really have any jewelry that's Carnelian, and she doesn't really have it in inventory to sell. And I made the comment, well, the only thing that I ever wear typically in terms of jewelry that's Carnelian is a bracelet. I do not have one on. Today, I had an amazing one for a couple of years that I wore each and every day. And I wore it for the energy of it to create, for the energy of it to create happiness, to create joy, to create what it was I was trying to share with the world. And I'll be honest, it wasn't instant. That what I was trying to share with the world wasn't appearing like this, each and every day at that moment necessarily, because I knew that. You're funny. Damaris was talking about obstacles and about getting clarity of vision and blurry vision. I knew I had all these other wickets that I had to get through before what I was trying to create and what I wanted to birth into the world was going to come to flourish.
I interject for a second?
Always,
I'm getting this
yeah.
complete image here. Okay, so when we're trying to birth things into the world as a creative endeavor, right?
Yeah.
It's very, very, very much like being pregnant in that there is a germ of life that sparks into existence in the very beginning, right?
Yep.
And then it grows over time. The more that we feed it, the more that we, drink enough water, the more that we breathe clean air, the more that this little project grows, right?
Yes.
And then it gets to the point where it's ready, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's ready. But the only way that it will get out, right, into the world is through a process of dilation where we have to open up. Right?
Exactly.
And sometimes that can be a little uncomfortable, right?
And scary.
And very scary. Yeah.
And
you
very scary.
Know when it's finally open enough to make its entrance into the world.
Mm-hmm.
But trust that when that moment comes, you won't be able to stop it.
Nope.
So
not even a pandemic.
Yep.
Right? Not even a pandemic. Not even when you are thousands of miles apart from one another and have never met.
Right?
Exactly.
Right? Yes, everybody. I'm talking about the three of us.
Right.
We've never met. For those who are new, welcome to Three Crones, but we have never met. We do not know one another in person. Yeah. Everything you see is us online.
Yeah.
Including us meeting online. So it is birthing a process, or birthing something it takes time. And the fact that I loved what Damaris was saying, that Mercury's coming out of retrograde, Saturn's going into retrograde. It's a flow, it's a cycle, and it's the same with creating. It's a flow and it's a cycle. We have a tendency to get caught up. I have a visitor. To get caught up. Yeah, I called you out. You have to wave at least. No, you have to come all the way in. No, you're gonna have to. Oh, there you go.
Shut up, puppets.
We have to. We're having those moments. You have to go through that process, and it's not always instant. And okay, I'm a Scorpio who yesterday is too late. In terms of my expectations. And it's all part of being a Scorpio. We have a tendency to want everything now or yesterday, and tomorrow I don't want to wait for it. The reality, though, is in the evolution of being a Scorpio, you learn that patience pays off. You really do. You learn that, okay, it can't happen the second or yesterday. You have to be patient, and you have to work towards the outcome. But I know that everything is in that cycle, and there are things that we keep repeating in terms of that creation process. And Carnelian helps. I know that Sue was just talking about how she uses it by her keyboard as she writes creatively. That's a wonderful thing. If you really want to own a piece of jewelry, though, that's great for at a Carnelian. Yes, I'm all about stones. Here's one of mine. This is one of my Carnelians. I have a couple of big ones.
Beautiful.
I find I need bigger ones. Little ones are great, but I need bigger Carnelians, and I think it's because I need that bigger push.
Okay.
For me. But one of the Carnelians, I was talking about a bracelet. I like Carnelian, not necessarily up by my face because orange is not my best color. However, on my wrist, I find it's one that I enjoy there on my wrist because it's a instant reminder. Because how often do you see your wrists, right?
Yeah.
You probably see them more often or notice them more often than you think. And when I wear a Carnelian bracelet, it reminds me of that creative process and that it is a process.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not instant. It's a growth, and
life is a process itself.
Exactly. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But we get caught up in, I heard something really cool, and I know Gayle brought it up last week, where you said that anxiety is something we're supposed to feel.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. You're supposed to be anxious about paying the rent. That's how the rent gets paid.
That's right. And so it's the same with creativity. It's a process. You're supposed to get stressed about being creative because guess why? That's where it's not that being so stressed about it is paralyzing, but it's getting that anxious stress kind of combo that helps you to get over and leap over that creative barrier where it's like, no, I can't do it. But yes, I can.
Yeah.
Because then you do it. Right. And, it's Carnelian really helps us remember that obstacle or that barrier or that very little bit of uncomfortableness that we're feeling is short-lived. It's not a forever thing. It's something that just helps us to grow and to expand into this bigger and better version of ourselves. Because each and every day, people show up as the best version of you. And each and every day, grow as the best version of you. So the next day, it's even better.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. Speaking of making next days even better, I want to say a quick thank you to everyone who has joined us in the Coven of Joy on Patreon. Pilar, Jocelyn, Sue, Allison, just a few of the people that have already signed up with us. So for only $4 a month, you can get all kinds of cool stuff, right? Including twice monthly individual, like exclusive conversations with us called The Moon and Woo. Where we talk about what full moon or new moon and where it's at and crystals that can help support it, and helping you prep for your moon manifestation work. Krista, take it from me. Take it away.
Yes, please. And understand you can have direct access to us more so than you do here on Facebook or on the YouTube channel. You'll be able to ask us questions. We answer them directly, you can direct it to me, you can direct it to Gayle, you can direct it to Damaris. And one of the things that we are working really hard at being able to try to coordinate is being able to interact with those who are on that Coven of Joy. And because yes, Pilar, thank you, Pilar. We love that. Thank you. But yeah, we have a lot of fun and we look forward to meeting with each of you on our Patreon site as much as possible.
Let me play that again.
And guys, I have to tell you, be patient with us. You guys are brilliant and you're wonderful. And we're working really hard. We keep coming across some glitches, none of which are you.
Right?
None of which are you at all. Right. Some of which are, I swear, my phone the other day, it just kept shutting off. It was the strangest damn thing.
Well, we were in Mercury retrograde.
And it is. And I have to say, it was kind of interesting because I'm not kidding. My phone just kept shutting off and I didn't know what. I'm like, how did I go from having a battery at 33 to nothing in a matter of minutes? I was just like, this is
I don't know how old your phone's not much older than mine. So that I don't think is a factor.
Nope.
But I have this old iPhone 6S. Okay. That it's a hand-me-down from my daughter's upgrade. And I got it just so that I could FaceTime my grandchildren, right?
Yeah.
And I don't do that. I don't do that. They call me on Facebook Messenger. So but that's why I have it. And all I use it for now is streaming music and so on. If I unplug it from the plug, it will go from 100% charged to shutting off in 10 minutes or less because the battery is just done.
The battery's hosed. Yeah. This one for me was a whole Mercury thing and it was crazy. I'm sure it was because my phone now, it's been great. I'm like, oh, well, that's weird.
Yeah. Must have been a couple of solar flares came through or something.
Yeah, it might be. So in any case, join us please join us. We'd love to have you. It is $4 a month. You do have a lot more direct access to us. And we look forward to having you be part of the Coven of Joy.
Yay. Awesome stuff. All right, everyone. Today's card of the day, as always, just fits right in. Oh, my goodness. Today is about the Nine of Wands. So from Galaxy Tarot, where we draw this, our card of the day for the week each time, the Nine of Wands messages that you are so close. You're so close, right? We're talking about birthing things, right? We're talking about, getting stuff to the point where you can give it that little extra push, right? And the Nine of Wands says that you are so close to completion or success in some aspect of your life, but this last part feels really hard, right?
There goes the obstacle.
The birthing pangs, the time that it takes for everything to be in position, so that that last little bit of effort carries the day, so to speak. Now, past experiences may be bringing up some doubt for you, right? We have that anxiety about, oh, did this go perfectly last time? No. Does it ever go perfectly? Probably not, right? So don't let those obstacles of imperfections or things where you fell short before to stop you from birthing this project, this creative endeavor, right? One of the most toxic things to your spirit is to leave a creative endeavor that was supposed to be birthed into the world to die inside you.
Oh, don't do that.
And take it from me. I have killed a dream before. I have killed a dream, and the side effects of that, you just don't even want to know. They're horrible. So don't let that get in your way. Don't give up. You have within you the strength and the wisdom to get it done. So trust. We were talking about that anxiety, right? I think that in a lot of cases, that media, good point, Sue. And with birth, it comes in its own divine timing, doesn't it? Yeah, it really does. Yes. Don't try to force it out too soon. You'll shit the bed, literally.
It's true though.
Sorry. Anyway, no. So the point being that you can do this, right? Oh, and what I was going to say is that I think, especially over the last 40, 50 years, okay, with regard to anxiety, especially those of us in the US, I can't speak for anywhere outside, except for maybe a couple of years experience in Canada, but our media, pain sells, horrible things sell, right? I saw far more articles about the deaths over Memorial Day weekend than the honors over Memorial Day weekend. And so that's because that's what gives the platform for the advertisers to make their profits, right? Okay. So here we go into a life where you go, oh, I don't want any anxiety. And everything comes at us as anxiety, right? So we start shutting ourselves down. We start repressing ourselves. And we don't get to identify that fluctuation in resonance as potential excitement, as potential, oh my gosh, this is so cool, right? We talked about the anxiety causing, not causing, but the anxiety is what it takes, right? To get that energy up and over the obstacle, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what we need to start remembering, is that we are overloaded with negative anxiety 100%. All the time. And 100%. It causes us to misidentify the energetic power of the anxiety, anticipation, right? And all of that. So let's talk about that a little bit today. And using all of that together, right? To lead from courage and joy. Now, if you're out there getting ready to birth something into the world, like I am individually, like we are as a group, whatever the case may be in your particular life, right? There is that last wall just before publishing, launching, all of that gets really, really scary because all the bricks are on the table right now, right? And you don't know how it's going to get received, right? Mm-hmm. So when we can identify that anxiety, that anxiousness about, oh my God, how's this going to go? Am I going to live? Literally, is this going to kill me? Mm-hmm. Trust me, it's probably not going to kill you. Could have 100 years ago. It might have for previous versions of you on the planet, but right now it's probably not. It could be humiliating. It could be uncomfortable, but the chances are that if you use what we were talking about with the Mercury coming out of retrograde and the Saturn going in, all that says to me is the communication now going forward is all about pumping ourselves up, reminding ourselves of the truth, letting ourselves know these are the parameters. This is what I will do, what I won't do. And speaking all of that into existence, that takes courage. Remember, courage is not fearlessness is not what we're going for here.
No.
Fearlessness has no fucking energy behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's completely neutral. Yeah, it's fine. It could happen. It could not. It's great to be unattached, but you can't birth something out of neutrality.
No.
Right? No. You've got to have that energetic force from behind and below to push you up and over. Right? And it's entirely on you. And I don't mean this as a level of blame or for you to beat yourself over the head with later on when you think about this in the future, right? It is for you and on you alone to remind yourself that this resonant energy that's got you bubbling, right, is positive in nature.
Yeah.
Right? It's nothing to be afraid of. It's that oomph from behind that helps you rise up enough to see beyond what's blocking you, to ascend over that obstacle, right?
Yeah.
So all you got to do is remind yourself that you get to choose whether you identify this energy as positive or negative. And if you actually look at it like that, right? Face it dead on. What am I feeling? My tummy is just kind of vibrating here. Those butterflies are really, really in action. Okay. So What is that? Right? Is that good stuff? Oh my gosh, what does that mean? That's going to be good stuff coming, right? Because we are multiple levels of programmed by media for the last 40 to 50 years. That 100%. If you feel anything in your gut, it's gonna be bad. It's gotta be bad.
But that isn't the truth.
Exactly.
That's not the truth.
Exactly.
Your flutterbys. Yeah, those flutterbys are excitement. And excitement is good, not necessarily bad.
Yes, exactly. Now, good and bad things can come out of that. It's not like you're going to, launch something or get across this obstacle and everybody's going to live happily ever after, right? It does not go like that. You've got a whole new pathway of consequences and prosequences, right?
Yeah.
I like that.
I like that.
So
I like that.
I love words. I really do.
Right?
Did you notice how consequences is a common word and prosequences isn't?
No.
Right? What are the good things that can come out of this event? Sequence of events. This happens, this happens. And if it's con is negative, pro is positive. So what are the positive things that can happen out of this? Right?
Yeah.
And keep your focus on that. The consequences will take care of themselves. They're going to show up because they're going to be stretching learning experiences for us, right? They're going to show up, and you're going to
stretching is not a negative.
Right.
Stretching is very much a positive. Going out of that comfort zone. Guess what it does, y'all?
Yes.
I have a question. All right. So we're talking about birthing in the sacral chakra, right?
Yeah.
So now, does the seed start in the birth canal here, in the birthing, in the womb, or does it start in the third eye?
Neither. It starts in the heart.
Yeah, I was going to say it starts there because that's where the soul resides. Mm-hmm. So it's that flame that's sparked.
Yep.
But you also have to envision it in the third eye, whatever you're trying to.
Well, I don't think you have to envision it. You have to be open to the possibilities and what you see. So the third eye is about being open.
You don't see it yet because it's in the womb. It's
here, and but you can feel it here, and then it processes. It's not I mean, for me, I don't see it as literal. I see it more as a knowing, as a process, as an acknowledgement. So when your heart and your soul and your spirit are singing to you, your third eye, and if it's open enough to respond and to acknowledge, it's like all of a sudden, it's like it works all together.
Yeah. See, now let me weigh in on this as well.
Here and down. What do you think?
There are people that do not have a running dialogue in their head. They don't hear a voice in their head talking to them.
No.
Okay. There are people that experience their entire lives without having any sense of intuition or the ability to visually imagine things. Okay.
Yep.
So we have to kind of cross those off on the list as far as the core generator of creativity, right? But no matter if it's a baby or if it's a book, that always starts in the heart. Now you can bring in and visualize and strengthen it in its development through your third eye, through your affirmation of voice talking to you in the head. But the spark itself must start in the heart, because that's where everyone has that same, whether they recognize it the same way or not. The human body is built so that the heart and the throat combine together to create the resonance in order to drop down into the sacral and be nourished into its full dominion. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's really, really good question, though. Really good question. All right. We are way over. Sorry about that, everyone. We do have a couple more things to take care of before we let you go back to work or whatever the case you may be doing. And that is, number one, to congratulate our winner. This week's Woo Woo giveaway winner is Jasmine Durant. Yay! Thank you so much for being part of Three Crones in the Woo Woo. You can reach out to Damaris, Krista, or myself to pick up your prize. And that prize is a 30-minute reading from one of us. All right. So for those of you who don't know how it works, we have gotten a lot of new members lately. Thank you so much for joining us. So for those of you who don't know how it works, each week we give away a reading from one of the three crones. All you have to do, if you are the winner, is to reach out to whoever you choose to get your reading from and say, hey, where's your scheduling link? I want to get on your calendar. Okay. And we'll set you up with an appointment and do that reading with you. Now, secret. Okay. At any time, any of you can reach out to us and say, I'd like to get on your schedule. How much does it cost? Okay. And we would love to have you do that. Okay. But for Jasmine Durant this week, all you got to do is pick one of us. I don't know where the heck Damaris just went. She just kind of dropped out. Mercury retrograde again. And, oh, she's there? Oh, kidding.
No.
That's Jen.
Come down and say hello. She's leaving again. That was Jen. Sorry.
Bye, Jen. Be safe. Bye. So, reach out to any of us and we'll get you on the schedule. All right. So thank you very, very much for being part of the Three Crones. Ooh. Yes. Okay. All of this is just coming in all at once here. All right.
I know. Yeah, I got Damaris.
She's back.
It was some sort of
awesome.
Here.
So yes, Jasmine, or please reach out to us. Choose which one of us you want to do your reading, and we will make that happen. All right. So I just wanted to say again, thank you to each and every one of you that shows up, whether you're live or on the replay, laughing with us, commenting with us, having a good time for an hour a week. I so look forward to this. And we want you all to have a fantastic week ahead. Love you. Bye.